Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advait Gadadhara, Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Vichayane, Nirvishesh Shnivadi Paschati Deshatarine. Are we live or not yet, Kirti Mataji?
I just went live, Mataji.
Oh, okay. When
You
we
want
go
me?
offline, that's okay. Just remind me, then I can show you some of the documents for 15th chapter if anyone is interested. Can you please remind me at the end, someone? Okay, the yoga of the
Mataji,
supreme. Huh.
Mataji, I might have to exit, Mataji. I have been informed I have my initiation interview at 3:30 from Mayapur. So is it okay, Mataji? May I please exit?
Of course, you have to exit. Otherwise, how can? Congratulations.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Good luck.
I've made you host, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Krishna. Okay, so let's pay obeisance to Shri Radha Govinda before we proceed. I was thinking about Radha Govinda the other day. How many of you have gone to take their darshan? Nobody here has gone yet.
To Mangalore, Mataji? Yes, Mataji, I have gone.
Very nice. You have to go because these are the deities who are giving us Bhakti Shastri. Anyway, I was thinking. Okay, we discussed 14th chapter, modes of material nature. How is that going? Are you applying it in your life, or we are just passing exam? And if you are applying it, then how are you applying it? Give me one example. I will go from up to down because it is connected to the chapter today. And Anvya Mataji, I'm just reading, okay, the list of the name. How are you applying it if you are applying it?
Yeah,
One
of course,
line.
Mataji, we are applying it. So we are seeing, how we are behaving under the modes and observing the people around also.
Behavior.
And as far as I'm concerned, we stick to our four regulative principles and whatever Prabhupada has told us. So you can see the difference between, the devotees and the others.
Okay.
So, and we try not to fall into the modes, For example, last Sunday, I had to travel for a marriage. And it was actually 2 days, Saturday also and Sunday also. But Saturday was Ekadashi, Shattila Ekadashi. So I cancelled it. I said I will not go on Saturday. So I took the class on Saturday. I traveled on Sunday for the wedding. So because I know, if I'm going to, it was a close relative, my cousin's son's wedding. But then none of them are devotees.
Sounds good. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Ambika Mataji, yes, Mataji. Are you applying? And if yes, would you like to share how? Quickly.
Trying to follow Mataji, following the four regulatory principles and chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, completing the 16 rounds and trying to read the Bhagavad Gita and other Prabhupada's books as far as possible, Mataji. And trying to not fall into the mode of ignorance at least.
So how are you applying? Okay, fine. Okay, you're telling me you're... Okay, thank you, Mataji. Linit Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Are you applying any of the principles of this chapter in your life? If yes, then how? Linit Prabhu. Okay, go next. Nikhil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I don't know about applying, but slowly I'm getting detached from a lot of things. Maybe this is naturally coming, but from joy and from sorrow, I'm getting little detached.
That's a very high level. Thank you. Okay, Rupa Mataji. That's not even mode of goodness then. That's transcendental, right? Rupa Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Like I try to stay in the mode of goodness by following all the, initiation. I took some of the, I attended some of the classes and they kept saying like you have to follow all the rules. So past 2 years I've been like attending the Mangalarti in the morning, wake up at 4 a.m. and attend the Mangalarti. And then after that, I throughout the day, I try to keep hearing the mantra or some kirtan or some class and, try to stay in that mode. So that's actually helping. And I've stopped attending so many, like Anvaya Mataji was saying, like before I used to, anybody calls, I used to just go and meet them because, I wouldn't be able to say no. Now I know, my priorities. So that way there are changes.
Very nice. Okay, so time management is better. Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Very nice. Shiva Srinivas Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Tell us.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm becoming more regulated than earlier. Like I'm more consciously being regulated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're more disciplined. Okay, very nice. Thank you. What am I doing? I'm actually become very interested in seeing that if I don't like to do something because the work is difficult, is it because the work is really difficult, or is it because it is difficult in the beginning because it is in the mode of goodness? And also, I think yesterday in the class we had this talk that the foods, the foods which are in the mode of goodness are difficult to follow. That diet regimen is difficult to follow. But the mode of passion and ignorance is easy to follow. Like Indian, like spicy, chili, all that kind of. But in transitioning to goodness, to a freshly cooked, juicy, nourishing, nutritious. It's like, oh, so in my house, this is what it is. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to 15th chapter, 20 verses. The first 5 verses we'll try to do becoming detached from material world, reflection of the spiritual world. Then Purushottam Yoga, transmigration of the soul. And then Krishna speaks about his position as a maintainer. And again, the 3 Shloki Bhagavad Gita, which summarizes again the Bhagavad Gita in the last 3 of the 4 verses. So becoming detached from material world, the reflection of the spiritual world. This is a very famous verse. I think you're supposed to memorize this. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Urdhva Mulam Adho Shakham Ashwatham Prahur Avyayam Chandamshi Yasya Parinani Yastam Vedasa Vedavit. Supreme Personality of Godhead said that it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down. Roots upwards, branches down. Okay. Whose leaves are the hymns of the Vedas. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So, 14th chapter, Krishna describes how a soul becomes conditioned under the influence of 3 modes of material nature. The other day we were reading in Bhagavatam the prayers in the 18th chapter, 5th canto, where Prabhupada was giving analogy of actually understanding what's what, right? He was saying that if somebody goes through the Sankhya system, they should end up in Krishna, because he says, for example, I think Rupa Mataji, you were there, the air is the cause of the tides in the sea, and air is caused by what? Sound or fire?
Morning
No.
class, Mataji.
Sky.
Ether. Air is caused by ether, and ether is caused by the 3 modes of by the agitation of 3 modes of material nature, and the 3 modes of material nature are agitated by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into the material elements, right? So like that, if what I'm trying to say here is that ultimately one needs to know the ultimate cause. That's ultimate. Okay, not stop anywhere in the middle. So when Krishna is saying one who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So 14th chapter, Krishna is explaining how a soul becomes conditioned. 15th chapter, he's going to explain how to get out of that condition. Okay, so by yoga of the Supreme Person. That's the verdict. That otherwise, this chapter could have been explained before 14th chapter, but 14 comes first by understanding how complicated the life becomes in modes, and then how to get out of that. How to get out of that how to become detached from the material modes of nature. So he's saying that the material world is a reflection of the spiritual world, but it is perverted reflection because the roots are upward and branches are downward, which Prabhupada explains the purport happens at the bank of a river and the reflection of the tree. The material world is described as the Urdhva Moolam Adho Shakham, Ulta, banyan tree, which is upside down. Why is entire material world compared to banyan tree? For one engaged in fruitive acts, there is no end to this banyan tree, which is very, very deep rooted. And one wanders from one branch to another. It's a very dense tree. If you have looked at, have you ever looked at a very old banyan tree, which actually spreads hundreds of meters, right? It's very difficult to figure out where it started from, which was the first root. What is the purpose of the Vedic hymns? To elevate oneself gradually from material conditioning to spiritual life. And why to understand this tree of illusion? One who understands this indestructible tree of illusion, one can get out by the sword of detachment. And what is the process of extrication? Devotional service and detachment from material activities and process of attachment by transcendental service. Now, I want to say something about the attachment and detachment. This is from my friend Chiti Shakti, okay? I think I mentioned her quite a bit here and there. So what is attachment? What is the problem in being attached? And what is attachment? And what is the problem in being attached? I'll go through the whole list because all of you are now seniors. Yes. Okay. So we're almost finishing Bhagavad Gita. But don't take more than a minute. Okay. So what is attachment and what is the problem in this attachment in the material context? Andrea Mataji. Quickly.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Attachment means it is sense driven. Your senses like something, you get attached to that object.
That is a process of attachment, but what is attachment? You're right. There's a process of attachment. How we get attached, but what is attachment? So
attachment
nice.
means I want something. I want something.
Okay, for personal benefit. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Nikhil Prabhu.
You get agitated, you get excited, you lose your calmness. Sorrow comes.
So the effects of attachment, effects of being attached. Well, what is attachment? You're right. Well, what is effect? What is the definition? Or your understanding?
My understanding is that you were too much, engrossed in the activities of all the three modes, and whatever it is, even in the sattva gun also, you are attached because you feel like, oh, I am good, I am well placed, I am happy, I am peaceful. But then we realize that this is also temporary. The original source of happiness is somewhere else. So we get engrossed, we get, entangled in the three modes.
Very nice. Okay, thank you. Ambika Mataji, would you like to say?
Mataji, if you are attached to something, we cannot be happy without that thing or person or whatever. Our happiness depends entirely on that.
So attachment, okay. Because this is Bhakti Shastri, if it was like 18-day class or any other thing, I will not be like digging or poking all of you. Okay, my question is definition of an attachment. What you all are mostly telling me is an effect or process, but that's fine. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, Rupa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Again, attachment is something where we are serving something because of there is some kind of give and take. So it is for
Okay,
sense
serving
gratification. Yeah.
Okay, so you're equating attachment to the satisfaction of one's own senses.
Yes,
It may
Mataji.
appear as okay. Thank you. Okay, Linit Prabhu, would you like to say?
Mataji, what I feel is attachment is like an emotional bond that is formed between a sense object and the senses. And the consequence of having attachment is that when we are attached to something, we are unable to differentiate whether it is right or wrong.
Okay, very nice. Very nice point. Okay, thank you. Shiva Srinivas Prabhu, yes, Prabhu.
Attachment means like I am the center, and what is in it for me? Like we look for what is in every aspect, like what is in it for me.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Okay, very nice. So I'll tell you how my friend explains it. Okay, so for example, in my hand, I have this, or in your hands, if there is an object in my hand, like if I have this, what all are things around me, like this drive, okay? Or in another hand, I have this mouse, okay? Now I have this drive in my hand, and now with this object in my hand, I try to pick up, let's say, a pencil. So I'm picking up the pencil with this. Okay, and then I try to pick up a medication thing. So I try to pick up this medication, whatever it is called as. Okay, now and then I try to pick up a water bottle which I have on the table. So you see how difficult it is? Yeah, it is. And now I leave this down, and now I try to pick up all these things. See how easy it is? Are you seeing or you're not seeing?
We are seeing.
Yes, Mataji.
So what my friend explained, that I really, really appreciated it, is that attachment is a sense of belonging, but actually what it does is that it restricts our freedom. Okay, it restricts our freedom. It's not that we cannot be attached to anything, but there's a restriction of expression of abilities, which is an effect. Okay, but the definition that she gives is a sense of belonging. It could be because it satisfies my senses. It could be because there is some sort of feeling there. It could be whatever, but the definition is like there's a sense of belonging to something. It could be anything. It could be a person. It could be a place. It could be the chair where we are sitting. It could be the glasses that we wear. It could be anything. I'm attached. There's some people who I know that they don't drink water from any other glass except the glass that they have. This is attachment. So what does it do? It restricts the movement. Okay, so when Krishna is saying, let us be on the same page of understanding that you see the fifth point, devotional service is the best way. Fourth and fifth, what is the reason to understand this true of illusion? To get detached, right? So in order to get detached, one needs to understand what is attachment and how is it restricting me. So if I am attached to the material world, it is going to restrict my movement in going towards the spiritual world, because I will be trying to pick up so many things with already so many things in the hand. She gives example by putting her hand in a bead bag and then trying to pick up her phone, trying to pick up her pencil, trying to pick up her wallet. So it gets very restrictive, right? So devotional service, so that is why it is important to free oneself. Krishna is not saying that start finding fault in the material world and then become frustrated. He's not saying that. Understand. There is a verse in 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita where he says, I think it's 4.9, let me pull up, which is a very nice verse where Krishna says that the people who, there are, what does he say, that is it 4.9? not out of, don't come, like, it's not out of 10, sorry. Vita raga bhaya krodha man maya mam upashitaha bhava jnana tapasa puta mad bhavam agataha. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. And thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So it is not that Krishna is not saying that become frustrated and out of frustration, go to Krishna. No, he's saying you have to be free from the sense of frustration or anger. It is not that because the material world is giving me so much trouble, giving me so much, death or so many suffering, so I'm going to go to Krishna. This is no, become free from that element also. But the first thing he says is being free from the attachment. Okay, he's saying, what we are saying is understand what is attachment and then become free from that attachment or transfer that attachment to me. All right, I'm not saying that become frustrated. Understand this verse properly. He's not saying become frustrated and become disgusted with the material world and then come to me. It is a very fine line. You can totally free yourself from all these things. And that is why the word weapon is used. Because the weapon cuts everything. Right? What does he say in the... it says asanga shastrena dhridena jitva. So I think that verse is going to come. I think that may be the third or fourth verse. So when we'll come to that verse, I'll discuss. Okay, so this is important to understand that what Krishna is saying, that first you have to understand what makes Krishna choose the analogy of a banyan tree. He's using so many analogies throughout Bhagavad Gita to describe what this material world is. One of the main analogies is upside down banyan tree. What are some of the analogies? Other analogies that he gives to describe this material world? How does Krishna say this place is?
Dukkhalayam,
Yeah,
Shashwatam.
very nice. The Dukkhalayam is filled with miseries and it is temporary. Okay, what else? How else is he saying? This is like an IQ exam, huh? Dissecting Bhagavad Gita. So, I think we discussed this. Filled with dualities. Yeah, there are dualities. What are some of the dualities mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Happiness and distress. What else? Rupa Mataji.
Victory and defeat, and
Okay,
then
very nice.
heat and
Shiva,
cold.
okay, Shiva Srinivas Prabhuji. What are the dualities mentioned? We mentioned happiness and distress, heat and cold, victory and defeat. What else? Shiva Srinivas Prabhu. Friends and foes. Right? Okay.
Fame and
Nikhil.
infamy.
Fame and infamy. Okay. What other dualities are mentioned? Nikhil Prabhu.
Summer and winter.
Okay. Summer and winter. What other? One more? Give me one more. Linit Prabhu. Anya Mataji.
Honor and dishonor.
Honor and dishonor. Very nice. What other? We never look at Bhagavad Gita like that, huh? This is Bhakti Shastri exam. Okay, so Krishna is using banyan tree. He's saying Dukhalam Ashashvatam, filled with dualities. How else is he explaining this material world?
It is a dark place
Ocean of
where
Ambika
you
Mataji.
need the sun and the moon.
Very nice. This chapter, yes, yes, very nice. So it's dark, and I'm giving the sun and moon. Mataji, Ambika Mataji.
ocean of material existence.
What Mataji? I couldn't hear.
Mataji.
Please repeat.
Ocean of material existence.
Ocean of
And he is
material.
material, ocean of birth and death, and he is the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Okay, so that way. Okay, so this is Dukhalyam. Okay, we can say ocean of miseries, material miseries. Okay, Rupa Mataji, what were you saying?
Prison house. I hear
Yes.
that a lot in Bhagavatam classes. So prison
Yes,
house.
it's the shackles. Yes, right. Or he also says about the three modes of material nature. A person sitting here thinks themselves to be a doer, right? I am the doer. Yeah, Nikhil Rabu, you're raising your hand. Yes.
Mataji, I heard Jayapataka Swami Maharaj saying, this is like treat like a toilet. Finish your job and get away.
Yeah, that's Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's analogy. Yes, very nice. That's
Would like
Bhaktisiddhanta
to
Prabhupada.
decorate the toilet.
Yes, yeah, that's Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada's statement. Very nice. Okay, so this is not the only way that Krishna is describing. Just become aware, but this is a very prominent way that he is describing an upside down banyan tree. So chapter 15 is actually addressing many agendas. He's refuting impersonalism, where impersonalism says that spiritual world consists of undifferentiated Brahman only. Krishna is totally against that. What does it mean to know the Vedas? That one knows how to cut off the attachment to this material world, and one who is attracted by the ritualistic formulas is attracted by the beautiful green leaves of the banyan tree and does not know the purpose of the Vedas. He says, okay, I'm the knower of the Vedas, but actually one is actually the knower of the Vedas, then they will be a devotee of Krishna, because now they have understood the purpose of the Vedas. But if somebody is knower of the Vedas just by reciting the verses or doing the ritualistic ceremonies, they are only attracted to the green leaves. You see in this particular slide is shown like just attracted to green leaves, but not the purpose. The branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has its root going down, and these are bound to fruitive actions of human society. Okay, I'll bring, this is from Mayapur handbook. I put a slide there where I'll bring nourished by the three modes of material nature and fruitive acts. So this tree is nourished, right? So what is the regular tree nourished by? The root of a regular tree is nourished by?
Water, Mataji.
Very nice. So water and soil, right? So over here, the work of the water and soil is done by the three modes of material nature. So different species manifest according to the proportion of the modes. Prabhupada explains this in the purport that sometimes we find a tract of land which is barren, and sometimes a tract of land which is very green. It is based on what mode is prominent. In particular mode of material nature proportionately greater in quantity, different species of life manifest accordingly. Okay, for example, upper planetary system is in the mode of goodness, middle is in the mode of passion, lower is in the mode of ignorance. So upper planetary, we find a lot of devtas, demigods. Middle, we are sitting. And then lower, it'll be more of demoniac tendency. Not like just the animals, but the behavior of the living entities in the lower, or mostly prominently influenced by mode of ignorance, will be animal-like. Like we can see that, like if somebody goes to a pub, what is going on there? The mode of ignorance is very prominent, right? So what is going on there? The activities in the mode of ignorance, illusion, laziness, sleep. Or if somebody goes to factory, tuck all the time, right? What is going on there? Mode of passion. Somebody comes to temple. What is going on there? The activities in the mode of goodness. So depending on where we bring ourselves, we can say that what mode are we associating with. So in that way, nobody is innocent, because innocent means unawareness. But in human form of life, we have to be aware and bring ourselves in a proper place. Now, this is a slide in Mayapur handbook. So please read the notes of Mayapur handbook for this particular chapter. It's really very simplified. So it says, I'll go one by one. Reflection of this I should have asked the question. So the reflection is based on what interface? It says a perverted reflection of the spiritual world is a material world. But what is the reflection based on? For example, if I see myself in the mirror, my reflection is based on the interface of the mirror, right? Now, this perverted reflection is based on what interface?
Desire, Mataji.
Desire. It's written there. I have to just become very aware what you're reading it. Desire. We will find what we want in this material world based on what I'm desiring. This is what one of my friends says, material world molds according to our consciousness. They are talking a lot in the Western world about the law of manifestation, which is not the ultimate thing, but you know, this law of manifestation is, for example, if you want to be a millionaire, then and you're not millionaire right now, then just sign a blank check on your name, or write like $500 million to your name and sign it and put it in your pocket, and one day it will manifest like that. Okay, and it's very, very prominent. Is it prominent in Canada too, Nikhil Prabhu? This logic is so prominent in America at the present moment. Yeah.
Going to get tariffs from Donald Trump today, so we are getting very we are getting very prominent today.
Going to get what?
We are going to get tariffs from US today. 25% tariffs. The whole country is shaking.
Oh, that guy is crazy. Okay, so understand that this is based on our desire. So what is the use of understanding that this is based on my desire? The reflection, my existence in the material world has a lot to do with my desire. What is the use of knowing it? Okay, I'll finish this understanding. In the meantime, you finish your thinking. Okay, the real roots grow upwards because it's upside down. So the root from which it's originating is originating from Brahmalok. But then there are secondary roots which go downward. You see these roots, these ones in the banyan tree where my arrow is, they are secondary roots. Attachment and aversion, the secondary roots are representing attachment and aversions. And then they are bound, they bound us to the human society. The leaves are representing the Vedic hymns. The twigs are representing the sense objects. Let me see. Sense objects are twigs. Hard to see. The tips of branches are the senses. Tips of branches are the senses. The fruits are representing the sense gratification. Am I right? Religiosity, economic development, dharma, artha, kama, sense gratification, and then liberation. You see, the fruits are representing the fruitive activities, the fruits, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Okay, now the living entities, so many of them everywhere, are hopping from one branch to another branch for fulfillment of the desires. So sometimes up, sometimes down. And this tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature, depending on where we are. Yeah, what is the benefit of understanding that I have a role to play in where I am based on my desire? It is the benefit. I am in the material world because of my own desire. What is the benefit?
Now that we know that our desires can lead us to where we purify our desires.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, so we have a sense of control, not like out of control life. We can have a sense of control by changing our desires. What else? We can regulate our life in a better manner. if we cannot regulate, at least become aware. I was talking about it in the Bhagavatam class, like early morning India time, that in modern psychology, the process of change has different steps. If you want to change something, it's not that, okay, it's like changing the dress. No. It's like if I want to change myself from one mode to another mode, it's a process, a gradual process, especially if we are going from lower mode to a higher mode. Okay, and modern psychology divides it into 3 steps. One is awareness and acceptance and change. So awareness, so if we are not aware, then there's going to be no acceptance and there'll be no change. For example, so many, did I speak it in this class or other class? I don't remember now. One of my friends told me the other day that there are so many books out there in the whole world. This is based on what is the use of knowing that my desire has a role to play where I am. Okay, there's so many books out there in the whole in the world nowadays, that how to do what, how to be a better influencer, how to attract, how to become attractive, how to earn money, how to manage money. Yeah, there are so many books of how to lead a life the way you want to lead, how to be happy. So, but why are they not successful? Well, so one way of looking at it is, she said, most of us are not aware on what structure are we leading our life on. So these external changes may help us to change the process. Okay, they're like mostly changing the process or pattern as to what are the patterns, but then the structure on which we are living our life is not changed. But Krishna consciousness actually attacks the structure, that I am not the body, because all these patterns are based on my material consciousness, right? How to attract, I want to be attractive because I am intelligent, I am this, whatever may be the reason. But the structure is not attacked. Only the patterns are addressed. So this is not going to be successful anywhere on the long run. The person will not feel satisfied. Externally, they may acquire what they want, but inside their heart, they will not feel satisfied. They will not feel accomplished. And they will have this sense of, missing something in life. But Krishna consciousness actually addresses the structure on which we are living our life. Most of the people in the whole world are not aware. Are we aware on what structure am I leading my life? Because every day when we are going out or doing something, or going, like, I look at myself, okay, I have to now chant my rounds, okay, or I have to do my DD worship, I have to go to work, I have to send kids here, I have to get this for the house, or pay this bill or this tax. Is a pattern. It has become like a habit, which we call it as a habit. But the structure is like, okay, wait a minute. Is this, I am busy. Says, okay, how is work going? If someone asks you, invariably, the people who are working or not working says it's very busy. Yeah. You get this answer. Even if you're not working, you ask a school student, how are you? Very busy. Right? Very busy. So, okay, what are you busy with? Or do you even give it a thought that this is how you actually want to lead your life? We don't address the structure. So the benefit, the most important benefit of knowing that my desire is responsible for bringing me where I am, is that I kind of start becoming aware of the structure on which I'm leading my life, which is a foundation. And then if I accept, okay, my God, this is how I'm doing it, then I can bring about a change if I don't like it. See, are you following me, or I'm becoming hi-fi philosophy? What's happening here? What are you not following?
We are understanding, Mataji.
But what are you not understanding, if there is anything? Because you see, one way of reading this chapter is duck, 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 duck. This is what represents desire. Interface, these fruits are representing this. Leaf is this is this. And the other way is like, what is the underlying reason for choosing this as an analogy? And how is it impacting my existence in this material world? And where am I going with my life, by the way? What am I doing? Do you ask yourself this question many times a day? What am I doing with my life? Is this how I wanted to live? Is this how I want it to be? Awareness is a very important thing. Yes, Rabu, you have a question?
Mataji, I could never understand this analogy. Why this is inverted? What is this trying to imply? That in the material world, everything is, it always went over my head. And
Yeah, mine too. But it takes time, no? You have to. So now, are you able to grasp a little bit, or no? Let's ask this question at the end of the chapter. But you still read it again. Krishna is not gonna use something if it doesn't have a meaning. This actually reminds me, once I had a discussion with one of the senior devotees in Gita Nagari. I don't know why the discussion went to appendix. She said, Ramkishori, what is the use of an appendix? I said it's considered as a vestigial organ, like it's like there, but it has no use. She said if it has no use, Krishna wouldn't put it there. Now she's an elderly devotee in 70s and I've never gone to a medical college, and here I am sitting with the MD degree and telling her that it's a vestigial organ, but she's saying Krishna will not put it there if it doesn't have a use. Then I went and thought about it. I said, yeah, actually it does have a use. It's a lymphoid organ. So it actually helps us fight infection. You see, like that, and if you actually base your life structure on Krishna consciousness, you can understand what other material education offers us. Okay, so reflecting medium is original tree, is spiritual tree, material world is reflecting on desire, perverted reflection. Nourishment is 3 modes of material nature: goodness, passion, ignorance. And then the roots, the real roots of this material existence grow upward, right? This is a real root from which this tree downward is going. So the real root is in the Brahmalok, topmost planet of the universe. Secondary roots are in the human planetary system, Bhulok, and grow downward and spread in all directions. Subsidiary roots are attachments and aversions, which are byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. See how the roots keep us grounded. Tendencies towards piety and impiety are considered to develop from these secondary roots. It's there. So pious acts or impious acts are from the secondary roots. Branches, upper and lower, they represent planetary systems, various manifestations. Lower part of the branches are human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. Upper parts are demigods, Gandharvas, and many other higher species of life. Green leaves are Vedic hymns, which are ritualistic formulas of the Vedas, very attractive. Like twigs are sense objects, tip of branches are senses, fruits are representing dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And what is the living entity doing? How is the living entity involved? It hops from one branch to another, trying to taste the fruit. Can't see how far the tree extends or where it ends. Although the living entities are eternal fragmental parts of Krishna, they're struggling with the senses. So the real form of this tree, now Krishna is explaining it, and then he's saying that this is a perverted reflection. That means if there is a reflection, that means there is a reality, na? If I see my photo, that means I am existing, that is my photo is there, no? Like that, if there is a perversion, that means there is a reality. Real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with a weapon of detachment. Again, weapon of detachment. So doing, one must seek that place from which, having once gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun and in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. I want to read this verse. I don't have my Bhagavad Gita in my hand, so we'll bring up this verse. See this one. Na rupam ashyashe tatho balabhyate, na ananto cha na adir sampratishtha. Ashwatham enam suviruddhamulam asanga shastrena dhridena chitva. Tatha padam tad parimargatavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuyya tam eva chadyam purusham prapadye yatha pravarti prasharta purani. So Krishna is saving our time because he knows we don't have much time in this world. Don't waste time in figuring out the real form of this tree, because no one can understand. No one. So actually it means everyone. Because nobody can understand where it ends, where it begins, where its foundation is. So if Nikhil Prabhu is saying he really can't understand, says yes, Krishna is actually like being very empathetic to us and says, yes, nobody can understand, but just hear it out. But with determination, one must cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. Asanga shastrena dhirena chitva. Okay, so he's saying the asanga. Sanga means attachment. Na? Asanga means detachment. Shastrena. Shastra means weapon. Tridena chitva. Tridena chitva, I think means tridena means determination. Yeah, strong. Chitva, cutting. But with strong determination, cut it. Now, how is it possible that I can cut it without knowing what it is? It is possible, otherwise Krishna wouldn't be saying it. Huh? This is the best answer to give. If you don't know how to answer, say Prabhupada said it or Bhagavad Gita said it, or otherwise Krishna will not say it. So never be wrong. You know, in medicine, we are taught medication side effects. What is the side effect? Nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. You'll never be wrong because all of them can cause this allergic reaction. Okay, some of the standard terminology, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying detachment. And to understand what is detachment, one needs to understand what is attachment. And we had a little bit of a discussion about that. And then then my friend actually goes on explaining the whole process of how to develop that detachment, which we'll do in some other part. Okay, now what do you do? You sit on a limbo, because we discussed one of the agendas in this chapter that Krishna is addressing is that he's refuting impersonalism. So if he doesn't give the second part, then one may think, okay, I will develop detachment, then what am I going to do? I'm going to become Brahman? No. He's saying after you become detached, seek that place from having gone once, one never returns, and surrender to the personality. Supreme personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun and in whom everything is abiding since time immemorial. This verse is addressing so many things. It's addressing attachment. It is addressing save your time. It is addressing our inability to understand this tree anyway. And it is also addressing and refuting impersonalism. And it is giving us a sense of direction as to where to go after we develop or try to work on detachment. Otherwise, it's a very scary road, huh? Just give up. But go where after giving up? And Krishna is opening his house for us. Krishna house. So the real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. Use the acts of detachment. The tree is not real, but a reflection of the real tree. It is impossible to fully understand the real tree. Solution: cut down this tree where we are, which is a perversion, with the acts of detachment, and then go beyond the tree and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the desired result. Why real form of tree cannot be perceived? I think somebody said that when we are too close to something, we cannot see. Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj gives this example that let's say you're driving and there are mountains. So you're very far away from the mountain. So what's visible sometimes is just the clouds covering the mountain, huh? You seen that? Like, you cannot figure out how tall it is, what color leaves are, what kind of trees are. There's a dimension like there are mountains. But go a little more close, and then we can figure out that, okay, this is how tall it is. Or there's a river, there are these trees, the clouds the clouds disappear. But then if you enter the forest, you get down out of the vehicle, get on the mountain, enter the forest, then also the details are lost. We cannot understand how dense it is by being in the forest. So like that, we cannot understand the real form of this tree because we are very dense with it. We're very thick with it. We cannot understand it. The root is an extension, as up, and extension is on the other end. When we are entangled in material expansion, one cannot see how far the tree extends and where the beginning is. Okay, we are now in the forest, we don't know the dimensions. But if you, one more example I've heard from a devotee is, I might have used this example before. When we are, let's say you're walking in a very thick city, let's say like Bombay, huh? Andrea Mataji lives in Mumbai. So you're walking and you see all this hustle bustle, people running around, everyone looking stressed, there's traffic, there's pollution, life looks like, oh my God, like, what am I doing here? So, and then now you sit on an airplane and then just go above the city and then look up the same city, but from the window of the airplane. You can actually see yourself above that plane, right? You're not one with the hustle bustle. You can actually see their buildings, not at a certain height, of course. And then the cars are running and there's like housing establishment everywhere. It becomes more and more visible because now we are not one with it. We're detached. So we are not able to see the real form of this tree because we are very thick with it. We have so many attachments and aversion. Actually, aversion is also an expression of attachment, of what I don't like. How to find out the cause? Okay, Prabhupada gives this, no? Fathers. Krishna is the end of research work. How to search out that origin from association of persons in knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, association is the key. How to find out the cause. How to find out the cause of our problems? I think and there was a breakdown of it once. No, I think I'm okay. Okay, so how to so many how to, huh? How to now how to solve a problem in our life. This is a very principle-based statement. If there is, let's say, there is some argument between you and your friend, how to solve? How to? So there are 4 ways. One way is blame the other person. You caused it, you solve it. Like, blame the other person. And the second way is blame yourself, self-flagellate. The third way is understand that what is your need that led to this particular situation. What were you needing? Let's say the friend was, you wanted the friend to come with you to the Bhagavatam class and they wanted to sleep in. So your need was for a company, so you don't feel awkward and left out in the temple hall when Nikhil Prabhu is giving class. So develop an understanding of what was my need behind this. The fourth way is, which is the highest level actually of compassion in Vaishnava philosophy, is to understand the need of the other person that led to this. Okay, so what is your need, and what is the request that we can meet here? Okay, so acharyas are meeting our need. They don't have a need here. Krishna doesn't have a need. He has a need for us to come back, but it's more for us. Okay, so how to find out the cause? There are 4 ways of solving problem. Now, this is a psychology running parallel to Bhagavad Gita here. So, the association. The association is the key. The association is a rehab center for our diseased mind. I often joke with my friend in Gita Nagari that Gita Nagari is my rehabilitation center. I just need 1 month of complete aloofness from everything else and just be there and I'll be completely turned around. I know that. She said we have to do that. I said where, when? So, okay, what are the benefits of this knowledge that Krishna is giving? Gradually becomes detached from false reflection. The word is gradually. Okay. Cut off disconnection. It should be OFF. Sorry. And actually become situated in real tree. That doesn't mean what it does not mean. Cut off disconnection does not mean what? Because then that's like a big myth in Krishna consciousness that people don't come to spirituality because they have to cut off. So what does it not mean? Cut off disconnection in the material world not means what? Or in other words, going to Krishna does not mean that we have to do what? Does
We have
not
to
mean.
stop. Does not mean that we have to stop all activities.
Give
And
example.
stop, yeah.
Mhm. No, Rupa Mataji, give example of what activity you're referring to.
Stop taking care of your family and stop meeting people, other things like, not going to job and not working. Just stop everything
Right.
so that you can become completely
No
Krishna
spiritual
conscious. But
bypass.
no, yes. So we have to do the
Oh, spiritual
opposite.
bypassing is a very different. Yeah, okay.
We actually have to do the opposite, devotional service, and then bring Krishna into everything, make him the center.
Very nice. The spiritual bypassing is the second maybe not mean cutting off this connection does not mean adopt to the method of spiritual bypass. It's a very big topic, but what is spiritual bypassing now? You are bringing this up. I'm not bringing this up. What is spiritual bypassing? What is your understanding? It's okay to be wrong.
You're asking me, Mataji?
Yeah, of course, you brought it up.
It's like giving up all the activities, and I am fed up with this material world. I'm fed up with all these things. I am going to take the shelter of the God. And then with this mindset, you go there also. After some time, you will have the same situation. So you don't never go. No, don't bypass. Face the situation. Go through these things, address it, and then once you are free from all these things, then you come. But you achieve.
Very nice. So that's a very big example of just getting fed up and going. The most common example that I can give of spiritual bypassing is, let's say somebody is grieving. Maybe they, faced a loss in the business, or they face a loss in the family. What do we say? We start citing the story of Chitraketu, how his son died, and how he, was brought to life by Angira Rishi, and how he gave, right? That's a spiritual bypassing, actually. If somebody's, let's say, family, and during COVID, this happened a lot, right? That somebody's family member has passed away and the person is grieving, and we go and sit with that person and start giving him 30 reasons of why I'm not the body, I'm the soul, like Krishna says in 2nd chapter of Gita, right? Or Chitraketu, or talk about birth and death are part of life. It's just a matter of time. We are all dying. It's nothing unique has happened. So basically, suck it up and move on. So that's like, it's a spiritual bypass. Now, Krishna is not doing that, huh? Arjun, anyway, Arjun is asked to kill his grandfather, which is a huge thing, huh? You take it upon yourself. Now you have to kill your grandfather or teacher. It's a huge thing. So Krishna would have just said that I'm God, you are my part and parcel, just do what I'm saying. He's taking his time and giving time to Arjun to express what is in his heart. So the deepening that relationship. Actually, Krishna consciousness deepens our relationship with each other because it deepens our relationship with Krishna, which is the cause of everything. People think when we become Krishna conscious, we actually lose contact with the people around us or family or everyone. But I actually find it quite the opposite. You actually become very attached in a very different level, which is more satisfying. The attachment at the material level will not give satisfaction to anybody. It will actually a cause of anxiety. When this will go away, oh, they didn't do this, oh, the mood is like this, because it's based on the feeling, huh? Feeling is coming from which platform of our existence? Thinking, feeling, willing. It's coming from which platform? Hare, thinking, feeling, and willing is the action of what?
The mind, Mataji.
Shukar hai. Thank you. You saved the day. Neither I was gonna close the glass. Yes, the mind, but the mind is our reason for us to stay here. Okay, with spiritual bypassing. Now, what do you do, huh? If somebody is grieving for anything, we have so many silent losses every day. Basically, we are losing our life. Also, what do you do? So we actually don't know. What do we do? there's one devotee, Rambhuru Mataji, she Srila Prabhupada's disciple. She actually started this called in ISKCON called Karuna Care. You can even go to karunacare.com, where the devotees are trained as to how to help other devotees in these kind of situations. And one thing she teaches, I attended her seminar, she said, is there's just to sit with a person who's grieving. You don't necessarily have to say anything, just sit with them. She said she's American. She said she spent 10 years in Vrindavan. And actually, we have to learn from the people in the village how to be there for each other. She says she noticed in Vrindavan, this was in 1970s that she spent 10 years, maybe 80s. So that if somebody has passed away in somebody's house and the person, the lady is grieving, the woman in the village would take turns throughout the day and night to just sit with that lady who's grieving. They just sit. Okay, and that empowered, that actually made their relationship more and more deep, that you were there for me. What did you do? Just sat by me. You see? But we don't know. Krishna is also say, okay, Arjun, Like, imagine Krishna hearing Arjun, so yeah, So Krishna is playing so many roles for Arjun in this. I asked my daughter last night, what all other roles Krishna is playing for Arjun in this, in Bhagavad Gita? What are the different roles that he's playing?
He's a charioteer, teacher.
He's a he's a charioteer. Okay, then what else? Teacher,
Spiritual master.
spiritual master, teacher. What else? So charioteer, spiritual master, teacher. What else?
Friend.
Counselor. Counselor. Then psychiatrist is diagnosing him. No, your anxiety. Friend. He's being a friend. Right? So many roles Krishna is playing. He could have just played one role that he's God. Actually, that's not even a role. That's who he is actually. But what is the benefit? So cut off this connection. So Krishna consciousness does not mean all any of those things. Krishna consciousness actually brings us to the ground first and then takes us up. It's like a spring effect. That's my realization. Come down and then go up. Like that. So so what is the importance of the word asanga? Asanga means a detachment, or it also means giving up the association, unwanted association. Who would have thought that we'll spend so much time on this? Asanga shastrena dhridena chitva. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Detachment is the only way. How? And Krishna explains, find out the one in knowledge and then surrender to the Lord and attain the eternal abode. Okay, so next 3 verses, he explains how. And it is possible, otherwise he wouldn't be saying it, by the way. Okay, he says, it may look like a lot of work, but it is possible. What did we study so far? Because some of you are yawning. It's afternoon in India. Nikhil Prabhu is a friend for me. It's like morning 5:15 a.m., right? Is it 6:15 a.m.? 6:15 a.m.
We are 1 hour difference is there, 7:15 a.m.
Oh, you're 1 hour ahead of me? Oh, I'm so jealous now. Okay, then for me it is 6:15 a.m. For India it is, what time is it?
4:40, Mataji.
So you guys have a stomach full of food. So what did we study so far? What is the first verse about? Linit Prabhu? Okay, I don't have any ability to hear from a muted mic. No ability. Can't read the mic.
Mataji, that this world is nothing but a reflection of the material, of the spiritual world.
What is the analogy he's comparing it to?
Mataji, Lord Krishna is comparing it to the inverted banyan tree.
Very nice. Okay, what else we studied, Rupa Mataji?
Then we have to cut off or attachment to this world uh, by using through detachment.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Shiva Srinivas Prabhu, what did you carry from all the?
The various parts of the banyan tree, like how this material existence is connected to the treasure,
Very
the
nice.
modes, yeah, and
Nice, thank
how
you.
the desire is the via medium, how we look in this material world.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. Ambika Mataji. Ambika Mataji, maybe she's not able to unmute. Anvaya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm out.
That's what she learned. Okay. You are already detached. Okay, so all right, so Nirmama Moha Jita Sankar Dosha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivitta Kama Dwandir Vimukta Sukha Dukha Samgnir Gachanti Mudha Padama Vyayam Tat. Very easy, huh? This is very easy. Those who are free from Nirmama Moha, false prestige, Jita Sangha Dosha. Jita means victory. Has won over what? Sangha Dosha or false association. Okay, Nirman. Man means ahankar, means honor, prestige. Nirman means free from false prestige. Moha, free from moha, which is illusion. Jita Sangha Dosha, who has conquered the dosha, Sangha Dosha or false association. Adhyatma Nitya. Adhyatma means knowledge or understanding. Of what? Nitya. Understands the eternal. Vinivritta Kama. Vinivritta means done with, abolished. Has what? Kama. Done with what? Now he gives a list. Kama means lust. And there Dwandir Vimukta. Dwanda means dualities. Vimukta means freed. Dualities. What kind of duality one is freed from? Sukha Dukkha. Happiness and distress. Samagner. Samagner means equality, equipoised. Actually, one is freed from the duality of Sukha and Dukkha, but is actually situated on the platform of understanding. Gachanti Amudha. Mudha means like idiot, right? Like one who cannot understand. Amudha means intelligent. Or here it means unbewildered. Gachanti means to go. Padam avyayam, that intelligent person will go. Where? Padam avyayam tat. Avyayam word is used a lot in 4th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Avyayam means eternal. Padam means the lotus feet. So tat. Tat sat. Om tat sat. So activities. Tat means doing, performing an activity. So goes and performs this activity of surrendering to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That person can attain to the eternal kingdom. So easy. Meet the requirements to come to United States, apply for visa, bring these documents. Meet the requirements to come to Krishna conscious like Goloka Vrindavan, apply for this and bring these qualities. So what are this? Nirman Moha. Understand. Again, Mana means honor, not freeing oneself from honor. Moha. Moha means illusion, free from illusion. Jita Sangha Dosha has conquered the Dosha Sangha or unwanted Sangha. Adhyatma means knowledge. Knowledge of what? Nitya. Understand what is eternal. Vinivritta means abolished or left. What? Kama, lust. Dwandir Vimukta, being freed from the duality of what? Sukha Dukkha, happiness and distress. Samgner, equipoised. Not only has become free from the distress of happiness and distress, but has become equipoised or has developed the quality of tolerance. Gachanti Amudha, that intelligent person will go to where? Padam Avyayam Tat, the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and surrender. Surrender is an active word, so that's why the word Tat is used. That person will attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, false association, who understand the eternal, By the way, I expect you to memorize the verses by this manner. Okay, not just parrot, parrot, parrot. That's also fine, because Krishna will accept that offering, but this will be better. Who are done with material lust, who are freed from dualities of happiness and distress, who are unbewildered, who know how to surrender onto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. You see, these are action items, so we can all make a poster and put it in our houses. Have I met these criteria or not? Checklist. Who will be able to surrender to the Supreme Person? Andrea Mataji, if you have to go, please feel free to go. You make me feel like I love your enthusiasm and determination.
I'm in the cab, but I'm still listening to everything.
I know, my God.
But
You
I
know,
cannot respond because just now, while you were asking me the question, I met a professor. So he's got a Korean daughter-in-law. Son is in US, and they just got a baby girl. So he was giving me gulab jamun, and he was, so overjoyed, and he was telling me everything. So I couldn't answer you, but I was still listening.
Okay, thank you. Nirman, one who is free from false prestige, moha, freedom from illusion, jita sangha dosha, freedom from false association, adhyatma, understand the eternal, adhyatma nitya, dvande vimukte, freedom from dualities, vinivritta kama, done with material lust, and unbewildered, can go to Krishna. Okay, now, this is a checklist or eligibility criteria. Now, next, he's going to explain what is so attractive about my place. Why should you come over there? What will be your motivation to meet these eligibility criteria, which we'll discuss next time. So, next time, read more verses. Let's decide how many. Because this class gets driven by at least read till 11. Preferably till 15. Preferably till 15. Because they are all connected from 6 to 15 verses. Okay. Questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections?
Mataji, your example of attachment that when you were giving, you were holding so many things and you were trying to explain, I couldn't get that. So you must, were you trying to say that I'm holding so many things now, so I can't hold more? Or I couldn't get that.
Oh, so I'm bound. Attachment is binding. Because I have this drive in my hand. Okay.
Yeah.
And then now I want to pick up the pencil with this hand. So I pick up like this. I want to pick up the tablet with this hand. So I pick up like this. I want to pick up the mouse with my hand. I pick up. So the grasp is very limited. So the problem is why I cannot be attached and also become Krishna conscious and go to Krishna is because the grasp in the spiritual life will be weaker. Okay. Okay, so attachment is an emotional bond that makes us stay where we are. It's like, okay, I'll give you one example. My Guru Maharaj gives that. He said he was in Bhaktivedanta Manor and he was near the deities. And there was this Mataji who came to pray to the deities. And she was saying to Krishna, you're so beautiful. Krishna, you're God. Krishna, you're this. But Krishna, I asked you to give my son all A's. He got 3 A's and 1 B. Why did you do that? You see, so Guru Maharaj was explaining that, of course, she's a pious soul because she has come to Krishna, but that attachment in that particular manner is inhibiting from going to Krishna in a more deep level. And this, is it making sense or no? It's not. It doesn't mean that she cannot be a mother and cannot love her child and become Krishna conscious. No, the dynamics of exchange have to change. The dynamics of exchange in that particular relationship. Like Prabhupada gives example of, he said sannyasi is not supposed to take part in marriages. So I am criticized by my god brothers in India that why am I conducting marriages of my disciples? He says that, right? But Prabhupada said that actually, why not? Because more than being able to hold up to the so-called standard of sannyasi that my god brothers are doing. More important work is to serve my Guru Maharaj. So you see, he is not attached to the title. He's more attached to the dynamics that entails in that particular relation. Okay, for example, now you are going to give class in the temple. One way of looking at it is that they actually look upon you, that this person has something to offer. And that is why we are eager to hear what this person will tell us. Okay, now that's there. So you can say, okay, I am going to give class because I am, I don't know, please don't take me, because my position is like a teacher, so I can say like that, but please don't take anything personally. That I'm going to give class because I'm actually better. No, listen from me. It has to be subtle, subconscious. Listen, what I have to offer. I'm going to bring in more to the table than what other speakers can bring in. So that is actually an attachment to false egos. The class is coming from the aspect of like, okay, I'm actually, trying to go there to prove myself that how good I am. But the other way is like, it is a service, and how it will deepen my relationship with all these devotees with Krishna in the center. So let me, try. But the real aim is that how am I going to deepen my relation with these devotees, with Krishna in the center, and how we all can be of benefit to each other in this journey. So attachment is there in both the ways, but what is the dynamics there? So when we become Krishna conscious, or when we are going in the Krishna conscious agenda or step, we are actually freeing ourselves from all those unwanted things and bringing a very wanted thing. Okay. There is this prayer, this story that I heard. I can go on and on. So, so there is this story that there was a Brahmana and a prostitute. Somehow they were neighbors. This is a story. So there was the Brahmin. He was a very, very pakka Brahmin, 3 times a day bath, Gayatri, chanting, sitting in a proper direction. I don't even follow that. My Guru Maharaj said morning and afternoon Gayatri, sit in east facing direction unless you're facing the deities, and night Gayatri, sit in northern direction. Do I follow always? No. I mean, I'm at hospital. I don't know what is northeast. So, okay, but this Brahmin was very pakka Brahmin. He would follow, he would be like chanting the mantras with clear pakka pronunciation and everything. And he would, do the deity worship to perfection. And then there was this prostitute who would admire this Brahmin. And he's so good. Look at his life. That is so good. And he is like following all the rules and regulation that a human being is supposed to follow. Look at me. I'm so unclean, externally, internally. I'm so ineligible to become Krishna conscious or God conscious. She's living like that. Now he is looking at her house and saying, oh my God, Lord, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. I says, oh my God, this woman, how do you even do the work like that? So this is his aversion is another form of attachment. So she is getting attached to his qualities in this manner, and he is getting attached to her qualities in this manner. Now, incidentally, both had to die on the same day. Okay? Now, Krishna sent Vishnudutas to prostitute and Yamadutas to Brahman. And Brahman says, wrong address. Go there, my neighbor. Wrong address. Galat jagah aa gaya. So they said, no, right address. I said, how come? I am a Brahman, she's a prostitute of all the things. How come? He said, because all life you are finding fault in her, and all life she was appreciating how God conscious you are. So you actually, you're carrying her dirtiness and she's carrying all yours. Right? So you see that you get free from those elements. Is it little clear?
Very nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, as long as it's clear. Okay, any other question, reflection, realizations, corrections, complaints? Now this class is also becoming like a morning Bhagavatam class. Either we understand everything or we understand nothing. How do I go offline, or are we offline?